Picture this. You start your day by falling asleep in an important class. Then you go to a meeting, but your mind is on everything but the present topic. You stay up until 2 a.m. studying for a test the next morning. When you finally do go to bed, you're left thinking of all the things that went wrong that day. Now, most of us aren't feeling like this all of the time, but when you take on a leadership role, it can be very easy to find yourself slipping into these patterns. As leaders, it is unfortunately very common to put the needs of others in front of our own. This can lead to poor hygiene, procrastination, and sometimes a pessimistic outlook on life. Caring about your mental health as a leader is incredibly important and can be done in three main ways: going back to the basics, knowing when to say no, and seeing the good. To do this, you don't necessarily need to reinvent the wheel. One thing that can be done is going back to the basics. Leaders tend to have a lot on their plate, and sometimes getting these things done means sacrificing time spent on yourself. But there are little things that get pushed to the back burner that could greatly improve your mental health. When looking at what we can do for the inside of our bodies, this could mean eating healthier meals or getting more sleep. It is important that we are getting the nutrients that we need. And sleep is vital as it gives our brains a time to rest. And after all, our bodies are still developing. When looking at what we can do for the outside of our bodies, this could mean simply showering or brushing your hair every day. These are things that are easy to push aside to make more time, just waiting another day to rinse off or throwing your hair in a bun again. Taking care of yourself will not only make you seem more presentable, but it will also be better for you in the long run. It also allows you to take 20 minutes to yourself each day in the shower. Now that you're feeling a bit more like a person again, what's next? Next is knowing when to say no. As leaders, we know that we have a lot of people depending on us, but it is easy to become overwhelmed with tasks. One way to control this is to evaluate what you are currently involved in when you are asked to take on another commitment. Do you have time to squeeze in another project? If you can't take it on, that's okay. It is better to do a few things that you are genuinely devoted to rather than spreading yourself so thin that you can't make an impact anywhere. And deciding which things to commit to, you will also need to look at what you are passionate about. Will this project contribute to what you want to do in life, or does it involve one of your hobbies? If so, and you have the time, go for it. If not, I again stress that that is okay. You don't have to do everything, especially if certain things are not enjoyable to you. Having time management and physical health under your belt, what could be left? When you are responsible for many people and events, it is easy to only look at what goes wrong. When you are reading or watching the news, the troubles of the world may feel as though they are being placed upon your shoulders to fix. This is something that can take a huge toll on your mental health. To combat this personally, I added something new into my routine: practicing gratitude. Each night I write in my journal something that I'm grateful for, whether it be a friend I had a great conversation with that day, or even something as small as seeing a flower on my way to work. It forces me to think of something good that I experienced. This helps me to appreciate the smaller things and to combat having only negative thoughts. Going off of this, there's a quote that I like to keep in mind that embodies seeing this good. This quote from Amanda Gordon reads, "For there's always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it." This means that there is that good in the world. Sometimes we just have to look for it. Sometimes we have to pick up those rose-colored glasses to see it. Other times, it's reminding ourselves that as leaders, we are personally bringing good to the world. Being a leader means that people depend on you, that you have deadlines to meet, that sometimes you have to be the bearer of bad news. But it doesn't mean that you need to neglect yourself in order to do these things. Perhaps, most importantly, it doesn't mean that you only have to see the worst in the world. While things can be hard sometimes, you can and will make it through. You are changing the world, so be sure to change your clothes every day too.